go over and talk to Erica in Iowa. Erica, good morning. How's it going?
Hi, I'm just calling. So me and my husband have been together for 2.5 years now. And he, when he was 12, lost his dad to cancer. Now, right before Christmas, he lost his mom to cancer as well. And he's only 25. So, and he's like you. He doesn't like to show emotion. He doesn't like to really cry or anything, I guess. So I'm just calling for look for advice on how I should handle it as a wife and what I should do to be there for him.
So first off, it sounds like he, as I have and do still, he has issues with vulnerability because he really couldn't show it early on because he had to be the strong one. And when you have to be the strong one, you aren't really also the one that allows yourself to go, I'm also weak, please help. And there's nothing wrong with being weak. We're all weak. But you're not allowed to show that whenever things are crappy. And you got to be the person that's running the show. And if his dad died and he's the son, he's the 12 oldest son or whatever it is, like, I get it. He can't be, I need help. He's got to be strong. But you develop kind of a shell that is really hard for people to get through. My wife and I deal with this too, where she deals with it with me, where, and I'm getting a bit better at it, but like she has to almost be so extra consistent with me and just say, I'm here. What can I do? And I can ignore it 500 times. But her just saying that over and over and being present and acknowledging it is really all that you can do, but it is a lot from someone else who, I don't have masculinity issues. I have vulnerability issues. The crying thing's not, I don't want to be less of a man. I mean, look at me. I ain't going to be much of a man, But mine was always vulnerability. If someone saw me cry, then I can't be that strong person I've had to be for my entire life. And my wife has gotten to the point now where she's so consistent with it, because that's something that I did not have, was consistency, that it's still hard. But if I need to, I can get there. So my advice to you is, obviously you feel sad for him, and you probably empathize in a way, but you can't fully empathize because you haven't gone through this similar situation. But because I feel like it's a vulnerability thing, you're going to have to let him kind of back into it and just consistently let him know that you're there for him. Sometimes do things for him, and he's like, I don't like this, but he secretly does. He doesn't want to admit he does sometimes. Sometimes he won't. And it's unfair to you, honestly, because, this is his trauma. But also that's what you sign up for when you marry somebody and you love them, to work through their trauma with them. So my advice would be consistency, expression, understanding that he's not going to get super emotional until he just gets so comfortable with it, and that's going to maybe not happen for a long time. But just let him know over and over, almost to the point where you're annoying him, that you're here. You're here. You're here. That's my best advice, because I relate in a very similar way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There is not a fix. There's not a fix, Erica. I wish I could just tell you this and just be like, okay, this is it. But there's not a fix, and obviously he's worth it. And this is going to be a problem. Problem's not the word. This is going to be something that you two
carry,
battle together forever. Just like you have your stuff, he has his. But it is just being there and having consistency, letting him know that he can be vulnerable if he needs to with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a ride. So it's definitely been something hard because I can't comprehend. I have both my parents, so I feel horrible some days because I have my parents and they love him, but they're not his parents. It's a different feeling. It's a different love, and it's just been a struggle for him.
Yeah, I think that some days if he is bringing up like, hey, I've lost both of my parents, what am I supposed to do? Those are moments where you can lean in if you feel comfortable, and don't force it, but just ask a question like, hey, would you like to tell me more about that? Because I think those are the moments where he may give you more, instead of when he's maybe behaving a certain way but not vocalizing anything and you're frustrated, to be like, hey, do we need to talk about this? Or like, hey, let's talk about how you're feeling. he may not be ready for in that moment. And I feel like since he was a kid, he's been carrying around this like grief backpack of sorts, and everybody grieves differently, so you can't expect him to grieve the same way that maybe you would or you want him to.
I didn't even know how to grieve, honestly.
Right. At that age, he didn't. So then,
yeah,
losing a parent again at 25, that's bringing up everything else from when he was 12 that he likely hasn't dealt with. And now his backpack just got heavier. So your goal as his partner, I think, is to help. How can you make that backpack a little bit lighter at a time? But a lot of that's going to be on him, and that's his work that he has to process. And like Bobby said, I think just showing up consistently and having compassion for that. But with living parents, I think I've felt this on my side.
My wife
both
feels
of
guilty
mine.
too.
Yeah.
Because I don't have mine.
Don't feel guilt about having yours. Feel gratitude and feel grateful, and, don't let that interfere with your help with him or your feelings in any way, shape, or form, because we can't control that.
And don't have the answer when it's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
You don't have the answer, but the answer is whatever it is that we're going to do, you're going to be right there with them. That's the answer.
And if he's willing to talk to somebody else, like losing both of your parents is heavy stuff. So I don't know if he's open or y'all have the resources for any type of counseling for him specifically. That would be great. And the days you are frustrated, call a friend, talk to a friend, or if you have a therapist, talk to a therapist, because you don't want to take that frustration out on him.
Get him a PlayStation.
Yeah, that's probably the answer.
5. I said, yes, 5.
She'd love that.
Yes, 5.
Anyway, that's hard.
Yeah, thank you for calling us and asking that. Two people who've kind of lived a version of it you're talking with. So thank you very much, Erica. And I hope that you guys get through this. I know you will, and you'll be stronger because of it once you do. And it won't be easy. But again, you'll be stronger as a unit once you do. And at some point, you're going to need him the same way, obviously.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
All right, Erica.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Changing the world. Amy, one call at a time.
Gosh, to be so young and
Who else needs us to change their life?
Good
no,
job,
I don't know
guys.
that.
No, we just did. We just changed it.
No, we
Because
didn't.
he's going to get a PlayStation. And that's how his
That'll
life got
change his
changed.
world.
That's right. That's going to change his world.
It's a Bobby Bones show.